Vote early, but not often. Early voting in New York kicks off Saturday at 8 a.m., giving city dwellers a chance to cast their ballot in the seemingly razor-thin 2024 presidential race between Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris and Republican former President Donald Trump. Harris holds a commanding 19-point lead over Trump across the state, and an even wider 48-point advantage among New York City voters recently polled by Siena College. But Trump has shown strength in the suburbs, cutting Harris's lead to a 52% to 47% margin, according to the Siena poll. Beyond the presidency, Big Apple voters' ballots will decide the results of contested congressional and state legislature races, as well as 6 ballot proposals in the November 5 election. Here are the answers to burning early voting questions New Yorkers need to know. How long does early voting last? Early voting runs from Saturday, October 26 to Sunday, November 3. Hours for early bird voters vary, running 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during weekends and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. during the week. How to find your polling place. An easy way for voters to find their polling place is to check the Board of Elections site at findmapolsite.vote.nyc. The page simply asks voters to fill out their home address, which will show not only their early polling site but also their election day site. Are early voting polling sites different than election day? For some voters, their early polling sites could be different from their election day sites. Word to the wise early voter: it's best to check the Board of Elections polling location site to make sure. When is the registration deadline? New York's voter registration deadline is Saturday. Voters registering by mail must have their applications received by the city's Board of Elections by Saturday. Procrastinators can also register online at irregister.vote.nyc. Do you need any ID to vote / does it have to be a New York ID? Registered voters do not need to show ID to vote, but there's an exception. Voters who didn't provide identification with their registration must show a New York ID when voting for the first time. Acceptable forms of identification for those voters are a current and valid photo ID, such as a driver's license, or a copy of a current utility bill, bank statement, government check, paycheck, or other government document showing their name and address. First-time voters who haven't provided ID by Election Day are still allowed to vote by affidavit ballot, but not by using their poll site scanner.